Hello and welcome back to another episode of my MotoGP 20 career mode, and today we're here for episode number 5 it is now, so we really are getting through this pretty quickly. So we've got 1 week to wait until Sachsenring, and then straight after Sachsenring we've got Assen, so that's quite interesting. We can't do anything in terms of the research and development, because the engine, we've still got to wait 3 more weeks for it, so we'll advance 1 week, and then, oh actually we've got some notifications. I was going to say we'll head into it, but we've got notification on the personal manager front. Oh, so there's a new guy. He doesn't really seem much better. Overall, I suppose he's better. In fact, he's a B rating actually. I've only just noticed. Yeah, I was gonna say he gives us less money though. That's the only problem. And wow, he charges a lot more annually. I'm not sure if we can particularly afford that. We'll keep him for now because maybe he'll still be around in a little bit of time. I meant to reject this guy. So we'll keep him around, but he's very, very expensive. So we've got 2 candidates here, then we've got Oliver Stevens and Ike Carrizo. Oh, he's out straight away. He is obviously a C++. He is well, a programming language apparently, but he is better than anyone we've got, but he's just so much worse in the engine department. It's the only thing we can upgrade. So for now, we'll refuse him. Obviously, because our reputation's going up, we must be being offered better people. I think that must be what it is. So he is slightly better on the engine front. He's better by a point, but I don't know if it's worth spending the 2,000 credits for that. So we'll leave him there for now. The data analyst has also got some more. So again, they're much worse on the engine. They're a bit better on the frame, so we'll refuse that because obviously we can't upgrade the frame anymore. So without further ado, we will head into the Sachsenring race. Obviously, we'll see you there in FP1. So we're here then in FP1 for one of the shortest races of the season in terms of length. So these development tests shouldn't take too long to do, especially this first one, the distance analysis. Obviously it's only 2 laps, whereas like a 1:30 track, which is about 20 seconds shorter than anything we've done the entire season. So hopefully we'll be able to do this one straight away. I'm guessing we're probably going to get good on it again, because I don't seem to get any better, but if I get anything else, I'll let you know, and I'll be very surprised if I do. Through the last corner then, this hasn't been smooth sailing. We've had to battle both the Sky VR46 bikes, because they've not really been willing to get out of my way. So yeah, once again we got good. Although that time I didn't ride it particularly well because, like I said, the Sky VR46 bikes were in my way. Sort of Mino came out of the pits right in front of me when I first went out on track. So Mino, I had to follow him around for a lap. And then I was just sizing up a move on him. And then Vietti came out of the pits on the next lap right in front of us. So then I was sandwiched between the two of them. It was pretty difficult to get my way past and stay on those lines, but they were holding me up. Right then, so the next thing to do is the race simulation. So we'll mount the tyres, fill up the fuel tank, and I'll see you at the end of that one. Coming out the last corner then, coming towards the line to finish the race simulation. We do a new fastest lap again on the last lap. We just got quicker and quicker every lap, so I got more comfortable with the circuit. Didn't take too long, that one. Usually that takes ages, but to be honest it didn't feel like it took very long. Probably only took about 7, well, it took more than 7 minutes, but it probably took about 8 minutes-ish. So now we're going to do the quick lap simulation, and then we can finish the session and look at the results and head into qualifying. Coming up towards the line then to finish the qualifying run. I think we set a new fastest lap on the last lap as well for it. But pretty easy once again. We were massively quicker than the time. I was quicker even in the race run than the qualifying time, so strapping on soft tyres, got into power mode 2. Made it pretty easy. So we'll head to the end of the session now, have a look at the times, and then I'll see you in qualifying. So Suzuki, the king of practice, once more. But I got a 2-second advantage at Sachsenring. That is a pretty substantial advantage to have at this circuit. Obviously 2 seconds, some other tracks isn't so much. Like if I had 2 seconds at Austin, such a long circuit, there's enough time to gain that. But obviously with it being such a short circuit here, gaining 2 seconds is massive. Messia's down in 8th place, although again, like usual, there's only a few tenths separating them all. Vietti doing a pretty good job there. So Fenati and Suzuki both in the top 5 after their crashes in the last race. They're definitely going to be wanting to qualify and then race pretty well to make up for those, those pretty big mistakes they made. Right then, so we're here in qualifying now, and we'll go out and set a quick lap. I don't know why it selects the bottom ones for the qualifying run. It selects the bottom set of tyres. Okay, it seems to be a bit weird here. So you get 5.1 or 4.6 ups, or 4.1 rather than like 4, 4.5, and 5. A little bit odd, but whatever, I suppose. So we'll head out onto the track, and hopefully we can try and get another pole position. Obviously we've had pole in every single race so far, so I see no reason why we can't continue that here. So Coming out the last corner to start the lap then here in qualifying. Foggia behind us. I think we came out in front of Dennis Foggia, so hopefully he doesn't catch us up, but I don't think he will. There's someone ahead of us that could cause a potential issue. It's Raul Fernandez on the KTM. Not really seen much of him in this game, I must be honest. I think he might have been there. I think I might have seen him at Qatar in one of the practice sessions, but I'm sure I've not really seen him since. I probably overtook him in a race at some point when we've had the glitch start. I thought I was in first gear then, I was in the total wrong gear because I was too busy talking about Raul Fernandez. I clipped the inside curb as well, so this has been a dreadful lap so far. I wouldn't be surprised if this is not good enough for pole position. I'm still 0.6 under, but it's not really much. Coming up through turn 9 then. We still haven't caught Fernandez yet, so we should be okay. Keeping it flat through here as much as we can. Down the waterfall. We've still got 0.6 under the new time, which is now a 28.6 by Suzuki. This lap has been a pretty messy one, it must be said, so I wouldn't be surprised if we lose pole later on in the session, but for now we are going to go pole, I think. Out the last corner we didn't even catch up to Fernandez, although we almost did. So 27.9 then. Not a terrible lap, I suppose, but I could go about half a second faster. Made a few mistakes in the first sector, it wasn't too bad in the second half of the lap, but anyway, we'll head back into the pits and hopefully that's good enough for pole position. So despite the scruffiness of the lap, it was good enough to put us on pole, but not by much. Obviously we weren't nearly as much faster than them as we were in the free practice session. We're only 0.7 quicker than Suzuki in second. So Suzuki's finally stepped up here. He's actually qualified where he can put the bike in practice. Yamamasi 3rd, Foggia 4th, Antonelli 5th. Fernandez down in 8th. That's not going to help his cause after obviously the crash in the last race. But without further ado, we'll head down to the grid. Hopefully we can try and make another victory out of this. So then it's cloudy once again, a bit like in practice, so hopefully we can carry the practice pace through into the race. I also don't want to get the glitch start, although I feel like at this track the run to turn 1 isn't incredibly long, so it's probably not the end of the world. But anyway, without further ado, we'll start the race and hopefully we can try and win again. So then we've had 9 poles, we've had 7 wins. Can we make it 8 wins here at this race? Lights and away we go. I forgot to do the technique to not get the glitch start, so we are dropping down the order. Down to 9th, 10th place, 11th. I'll try and take a long route through turn 1 if I can. Obviously the tide's very cold though, so I've got to watch out for that. Try and run it around the outside, on the inside of our Koba. Back up to 9th, Fernati's ahead of us there, Yamanaka as well, but it looks like Suzuki leads the race. I'll try and cut underneath Yamanaka here. Passing Lopez is doing pretty well in this race. Up the inside of Fernati, the AI likes to go nice and wide here, although Fernati's not, and we've absolutely sat him up because he's just lent on us a massive amount. We've had a bit of contact with Mino there. Trying to get to the side of Mino. Up into 6th place again, we're still in power mode 2. I didn't mean to keep it in that. I put it on that for the start and then turn it down. Actually, I think the game might do that. I'm not 100% sure. Perhaps it's just still in power mode 2 from the qualifying, that's probably why. But I always just leave it at that anyway. But Lopez trying to go around the outside of Antonelli. We're following him through. I'm in totally the wrong gear here. I'm in 6th gear. Should be in 5th. Not 6th at all. I don't know why I shifted up to 6th. But we've got back up into 5th place. So, well, the disaster's not totally averted yet. But it's been a pretty decent recovery so far because it's to Lopez. We've had contact with Lopez there. We are really taking different lines to the AI here. Oh, there's been a crash behind. Lopez has now just gone down. So that's 2 races in a row. Husqvarna has crashed out. Probably on the inside curb again. Yuki Kuni's gone down as well. So I'm assuming he's probably had a similar accident unless he's been caught up in either the aftermath or that actual crash itself. Masia is looking for a move on Tatsuki Suzuki here. We're all over the back of Dennis Foggia. Can we try and attack Foggia here? We're going to try and get past him as soon as we can because we found out that we got stuck behind Foggia that time in Jerez. We hit him at the back and that was it. That was curtains. We didn't win that race. It's the only race we've lost so far this season. And we're at the inside of Foggia. We're on the grass. Oh, Foggia went a lot tighter than I expected, but we should still be able to get him here through this left-hander because it's gone very wide. So we've got back up into P3 now. So we've got past Dennis Fodger. Yama Masia up next. I'll try and make all the inroads we can on him. We've got to make sure we use the right gear through this section. Obviously we are up with the very fast riders at the front now. So the 5th gear. Masia's looking back to see where I am, I think. Obviously he knew that I got passed off the start. I'm guessing he was checking to see if Fodger was still behind him. He's now seen that Fodger is not still behind him, and he was looking for a move on Suzuki as it was, so I'm guessing he'll be definitely trying to do that now. But the AI going very wide into the penultimate turn as we approach the last corner. We've got the inside of Yama Masia. Yes, we have, so we've passed Masia. We're back up into 2nd position, and it's been a crash. Celestino Vietti has crashed in the background. I'm guessing he's clipped the inside curb as well. I've done the fastest lap. Suzuki's now looking behind to see who's behind him. The AI all looking behind to see if I'm there. I've not really seen them do it very much. I think I've seen them do it about once before, and I've just seen 2 within the space of a lap. But Tatsuki Suzuki still leads the race on lap 3 here, but it won't be for much longer, I'm guessing. Oh, that's a weird lie for Suzuki. He's clipped that curb. He's lucky to have not gone down there. And Masia's going to come back up the inside of me. Masia's coming back at us. We've got that past Masia. Tatsuki Suzuki is next once again. But I don't think we're going to be close enough to get him here, even with the... Oh, Masia's coming back at us again. Masia is desperate to get back past us here. Suzuki is really feeling the pressure now. We're right up behind him. When this is the long turn 7, we've got to be careful we don't hit him at the back into 8 here, because I carry a lot more speed through here than the AI do. We're closing. Are we looking at the inside into turn 9? Yes, we are. We're at the inside of Suzuki. I think that's where Stoner passed Pedrosa in 2012. Oh, but he's still looking at the inside into the waterfall, the Ralph Waldman corner. That would have been a brave move if he pulled that one off. But luckily he backed out of the move before anything could happen. But Suzuki really, he is bouncing back from that crash in the last episode. Obviously he crashed behind us at Catalonia at turn 10. But leading the first couple of laps of this race, he's really proving that he's come back from that. There's been a crash behind. Suzuki's gone down, so it seems like the AI are really struggling with that corner. They're going to be clipping the inside and going down a lot. So it could potentially happen to one of the guys behind me. It could happen to me even. I doubt it. I think Masia has now got past Suzuki though, so Masia really wants to go with us here in this race. So fastest lap of the race, not lap 28.0. Pretty close to our qualifying time actually. 1.7 seconds now ahead of Masia in 2nd. So obviously Masia did get through on Suzuki at the start of the previous lap. I think they're still battling though, because it's just said Suzuki's retaken the position. So yes, Tatsuki, go for it, lad. More points between me and Masia, that's exactly what I want. Another fastest lap, a 27.9 on that lap. Suzuki still holds 2nd place ahead of Masia. Coming through the last corner then. Oh, the left hand side of the tyres are absolutely shot. They're spinning up here. We do a 28.8 on the last lap, but look how happy the rider is. And I think Suzuki did get 2nd there. So yes then, Suzuki actually did get 2nd position. He managed to beat Masia by quite a big margin. I think something's happened with the gaps here at the end when I've gone over the line. I think the AI have sort of slowed down and stuff before they've come up towards the line. But he was the only guy in the 28s other than me. Oh, Antonelli. So the 2658 boys really had the pace in this one. They actually managed to outpace the Leopards, but the Leopards just outraced Antonelli and kept in front of him. Masia had a go at getting 2nd position and trying to go with us, but Suzuki bit back at him. And that's really helped us out. Fenati ended up 7th. We'll have a look where Lopez ended up after his crash on the first lap. I'm guessing he's quite far down. Oh, he retired. He retired from the race along with Rodrigo retired. Cooney retired. Arenas is out, and Celestino Vietti when he crashed as well. So I'm guessing maybe some of these riders like Arenas and Rodrigo, I never saw those guys crash. I think they must have got caught up in the incidents with Vietti, Lopez and Cooney. Oh, and Suzuki did crash as well. I remember seeing that, so perhaps he caught one of those guys up with it, or maybe he got caught up in their crash or something. I'm not 100% sure. But we'll have a look at the championship now. That 9 points has really helped us out there that we've gained on Masia. We take a massive swing. 46 points ahead of him now, 71 ahead of Fodger. Suzuki really did recover after that crash in Catalonia, to be fair to him. He's moved back up into 4th in the championship. 104 points down. He's joint on points with Mino there. And there are only a few in front of Antonelli and Fenati as well. But it looks like we are running away with this championship. Another win against Masia, and that we'll be able to wrap it up 2 rounds early rather than just 1. In the team's championship then, we still have 20 points over 658. I'm not sure how. I think it's because we gained so many points on them in Catalonia, even though they probably outscored us in this race. It was only by a few points, so it's still interesting. We might be able to keep the second place in their constructors if they keep messing up, but Leopard have now got a 74-point lead in the constructors standings. We're never going to catch that up. They are miles ahead. I think they've basically already got it wrapped up, the constructors. I suppose it's difficult because there's only one rider in my team. We'll head into Parc Ferme and then back to the career hub and see what needs to be done between now and the next race. Looks like it's got even darker in the sky than it was in the race, but there you go. So we managed to win another race, and I've just realised actually, sort of between these screens, that I said that I had 9 poles. I think I only have 8. I was thinking we're at round 9, but we're at round 8, so it's because Sachsenring and Assen have been swapped around this year, so I was thinking that we're at round 9 being at Sachsenring, but it's actually round 8. So we gain 5,200 reputation there, so that brings us up to 50,700 now. We gained 6,151 credits, so now I've got 46,457 credits. And looking at the research data, well, we've got 2,312 on the engine now. We've got 1,000 on the frame. We've got over 1,000 on everything now. But the only thing that matters is the engine, of course. Right, so we do have another notification on the personal manager. New candidates available for that. So we've got Jack Vander. Oh, that's the guy we had before. He's actually a B rating. And we got a B plus here. Wow, this seems... Now, I really want to sign her, actually. But look at how much she costs. She's been... Yes, she's in the MotoGP world for several years, quite competent. Specialised in getting good salary offers. The only problem is, I'm not sure if I can afford that. Because that's 65,000 annually. I know, obviously, you don't pay you annually at the same time. Monthly salary is 2,500 more, so it's 5,000. We only gain around 5,000 credits for a race. I don't know, I really want to sign her actually, but I don't know if I can afford it, that's the problem. But anyway, without being able to advance any get any more upgrades until another week, we'll go to Assen, because I totally forgot that Assen and Sachsenring had swapped. So it's a nice surprise that we're going to Assen. If it's anything like last year, the AI were terrible at this circuit, so if it's like that then I do apologise, because it will be a pretty boring race, but whatever, we'll have a look. We'll head straight into there and I'll see you in FP1. So then we're here in FP1 and it is actually wet, so it is wet here, so it's going to be pretty interesting. That increases the lap times quite a bit at this circuit, otherwise I think it would have been a little bit shorter. But anyway, we'll head out and do the distance analysis and I'll see you at the end of that. So coming into the chicane now. I supposed to fail the lap time on the first lap. I don't really know how, because I'm about 2 seconds quicker on this lap, so I'm not sure what I did. But as we come over the line then, did we... No, we actually failed the test, so we've got to do it again. That's a bit annoying. So this time we managed to actually pass it. We got good again, unsurprisingly, but yeah, not sure what I did on that first lap, but I was so slow. Right, so the next thing to do is the race simulation now, so we'll head out and do that one. So we're coming towards the line then to finish the race distance. We didn't quite go fast on the last lap there, but we did beat the lap time pretty convincingly on every lap, so I still don't really know what happened at the start of the session with the distance analysis, how I managed to go so slow on that first lap. But we've got the qualifying run left to go, but I'm not sure whether I'll leave that till FP3, because if we have a look at the weekend, FP3 and everything else afterwards is dry. So I'm not going to get through into Q2 based on this session, so I think I'll just skip to FP3, do the qualifying run then in that session, and then we'll head into Q2 then. I think that's what I'm going to do. Through the last corner then. Corner towards the line. Are we going to go quicker on this lap? No, we're not, but we managed to beat the time both times. So I've still got quite a bit of time to find, I feel like. Obviously that was 2 laps in the dry, when usually I'll have probably about 10 laps in the dry going into qualifying. So it could be pretty interesting, so we'll head to the end of this session and then I'll see you in qualifying. So then we were 1.8 seconds quicker than Fodger in second actually, and Messier in third. Not sure where Suzuki and Antonelli are. Suzuki and Antonelli 12th and 15th, so the Test Day King is not even on the front page. So we're here then in qualifying, and obviously I've got to put on a fresh set of tyres, set the fuel to 4 laps, and we'll head out. Hopefully we can try and get another pole position. Right, so coming up towards the line and start our lap here in qualifying. We'll go down the straight towards turn 1. On the brakes, get the bike, turn on the power again, sit it up out of there, through turn 2. Some of the corner names at this circuit I wouldn't even have a go at pronouncing, just because the letters that are next to each other, just in English, should never be next to each other. So I'd never be able to even think about how to pronounce the stuff. Strubben, I can pronounce that one. Some of them I can. And some of them I've heard before be said. But yeah, some of the corners at Assen, probably some of the hardest in the whole calendar to pronounce, to be honest. I suppose for Dutch people it's just second nature. Through the Wienslang and then through the Ruskenhoek. See, those two corners aren't too bad to pronounce. And through Stekken, I think it's Stekkenval, I think it is pronounced. We've gone a bit wide, hopefully we don't lose our lap. We haven't, but we'll definitely have lost time on our lap, but losing the actual lap would be worse, of course. Into De Bolt. Raul Fernandez ahead of us again. I'm sure he was ahead of us at Sachsenring when we were doing our lap as well. He's gone very wide, actually. Dukersloot. I think that's how to pronounce it. Not sure. I don't know how most of this lap has just been saying, oh, I can't pronounce the corner names, and then trying to anyway. Hodgehide. At turn 14, I can pronounce that one. Then the Ram's Hook. So you come towards the Gert Timmer chicane. 1:45.3 there for Suzuki. I was too busy looking at his lap and just ran wide into the chicane. Not sure why I particularly was too busy looking at his lap. 44. So 44.4 we've done there. So 9/10 quicker. It looks like it's going to be quite close. I'm definitely struggling to get up to speed here. So then, Masia ends up second. I thought it was going to be Suzuki second again, but Masia went and stole it from him right at the last second. But we only have 0.8 of a second to him, which is quite a bit to have, obviously, on pole position, but a lot closer than it has been at some of the other rounds. I am struggling to sort of get into the groove of this track in the dry, so that might help the AI out a little bit. Suzuki third, then Fenati fourth. Boltus up in fifth place. So Renner sixth. It's a bit of a mix of a grid again, because Carlos Tatai is in eighth. Fogger's down in 12th. Ricardo Rossi's 14th. And Antonelli's down in 17th. So a bit of a mix-up grid here. But anyway, we'll head into the race. Hopefully Masia doesn't overtake us off the line. So then down on the grid, obviously you see Masia and Suzuki are alongside us on the front row. If we get the glitch start again, this could be potentially quite bad for us because, well, I haven't really had the pace to actually pull a massive amount of time back on the AI. Obviously at Sachsenring I had quite a bit of pace, so it was quite easy to get back through, but not so sure about here. I was coming into this weekend thinking that it was going to be pretty easy to easily pull away, but actually we're not that much faster than them, purely because of the weather, really. So anyway, without further ado, we'll start the race and hopefully we can try and bring home another victory. So then we are on the grid. Fenati's doing some sort of animation, everybody else is a bit static. So waiting for the lights to go out here. Lights on, away we go. We actually did it. We actually managed to pull off the technique to not get the glitch start. It is quite difficult because you've got to watch your revs and you've also got to watch your lights to make sure you don't wait too long before you go. So into turn 1, then we lead. We have the whole shot. Suzuki second. I think Minio's third. Not sure what's happened to Masia. Seems to have dropped through the pack a little bit here. But we actually lead for the first time off the line for quite a while. Actually, it's a crash behind. Jeremy Alcoba's gone down. Garcia's passed Boltus, so I'm not sure how he's exactly crashed. He's crashed in the middle of the pack. I'm looking behind. I can see, I think Masia is in 4th position there. But getting some good points over him is exactly what we need. Not sure where Fogger is. Fogger started, well, really far back. I think he's about 11th, 12th on the grid, something like that. So he's already really losing ground in this championship, and that's not going to help him at all. So it's definitely going to be between me and Masia in this one, I think. So we've got 0.8 of a second already through the Stekkenval. So out the chicane, then up towards the line. What is the gap over the line? I want to see where everybody is as well. So we've got 1.2 seconds. Masia's now back up to 3rd. Fogger's 6th. So Fogger's had an amazing start here. Obviously still not really a good enough position for him, but considering where he started on the grid, he's got off the line well. So at the end of the second lap we do a 45.0. We've got 1.7 seconds still to Suzuki behind. 44.6 on that lap then. Now got 2.8 seconds, so we pulled out another 1.1 to Suzuki. But Suzuki's really had a resurgence in the last couple of races, because he's not really been anywhere near the front. And then all of a sudden he starts, you know, he's topping all these, well, you know, other than me, he's topping all these free practice sessions, and he never seems to quite have it in qualifying in the race. But the last couple of races he's been beating the Leopard boys. I mean, he's really upped his pace all of a sudden. It's so strange. 44.5 on that lap, so we are just getting quicker and quicker every lap now, up to 4 seconds in the lead. So starting the final lap then, what is the gap now? 4.9 seconds, so Suzuki still holds on to second, Fogger's still in 6th, so he's actually not got anywhere since the first lap. But Suzuki's really been doing us a favour in these last couple of races. I mean, it's really hurting us in the Constructors' Championship, but... well, the Team's Championship. I'm not sure what Antonelli is, though. Antonelli's not done too well in this race, so I think maybe we'll probably be about even in terms of the points we gain. Through the last chicane, then, for the final time here at Assen. We're going to win by a really massive amount in the end, so 44.7 again on the last lap. Banging on his chest over the line. So then, in the end, we won by 6.6 seconds ahead of Suzuki in second place. Pretty big margin to win by there. Fogger did end up 6th, Messier ended up 3rd, Antonelli got 7th, so I think that team will sort of outscored us there in, obviously, this race. But we'll move on to the championship then and have a look at how things have been affected. So now the championship lead is 55 points, so we could wrap it up 2 rounds early instead of 1 this time. Fogger, he's 86 points behind now, so he's really fell out this championship. Obviously, Suzuki is now 109 points behind, so he was already over 100 points behind. But I think it looks like the championship is going to be ours. Messier is the only guy realistically that can take it away from us at this point, because Fogger's just so far behind. I don't think any of the others could pull it back either. The team's championship, so 658 are now 16 points behind us, so they're making some more inroads on us once again. But Leopard Racing now have 75 points ahead of everybody else. They are walking away with this. So then we get to see this cutscene once again. We've seen this cutscene in every race except Jerez. Obviously, we've been so dominant this season, pole position in every single race, winning in every race except Jerez, where even though that was the worst race we had, we still got 3rd place. So that's better than most riders have done even in their best races. So we've really had a dominant streak in this series so far. So then we gain 5,200 reputation points, bringing us up to 55,900. We gain 6,151 credits, which brings us up to 52,578 credits. And looking at the research data, where we have a ridiculous amount in everything now, 2,806 in the engine, and obviously we had over 1,000 in everything already, but we've almost got 3,000 on the engine now. Just because, look at the synergy, we've got 38 on the engine, just because of the staff member we went with, but wow. So we've got some more notifications on the personal manager front. But it's actually contract search this time. So now, in Moto2, is every single team interested now? I think so, probably. Oh no, SkyVR46, Speed Up, Liquid Moly, the Intet GP team, then Mark BDS and the Pons team. Same with the IO team, the Ital Trans team. So there's some more teams getting interested then. No MotoGP teams are interested yet, are they? No. Of course they wouldn't be. It doesn't tell you how many points you need to be to have these teams be interested in you. I'm guessing by the end of the season, though, we'll be able to pick whichever Moto2 team we want to go into. Let me know if you want me to sign for an official team, or if you want me to carry on with one of the fake teams as well for that. But that is it then for this episode. Nothing else to do. Obviously, in the next episode, we'll pick up where we left off here, and we'll start looking at developing the engine further. But I hope you have enjoyed this one. There was a bit more action again. Last couple of episodes have definitely been a little bit better, mainly because of the starts have not been so good from me, so I've had to fight through. But Messier really did try and give us a good run at Sachsenring. Obviously in Assen we cleared off at the front and won by a massive amount. But Suzuki is really helping us out here. But like I said, I hope you have enjoyed that one. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day. I hope you're all staying safe, and I shall see you in the next video.